Hello Raptors fans and welcome to the inaugural episode of Raptors Overtime. My name is Vincent and I'm here to talk to you about all things Toronto Raptors. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Toronto Raptors' 30th game of the season against the reigning champion Golden State Warriors. This is the second meeting within the last month between these two teams, with Toronto winning the first game on November 29th at Toronto, 131-128 in an overtime thriller. Kevin Durant had a huge night, scoring 51 points for the shorthanded Golden State Warriors, but it wasn't enough to overcome Kawhi Leonard's 37, Pascal Siakam's breakout 26 points, and Kyle Lowry's 12 assists. Toronto played the night before against the Los Angeles Clippers without Kawhi Leonard and managed to pull out a huge victory without their star forward. Playing against the Warriors on the second night of a back-to-back at Oracle Arena, where the Warriors had previously only lost 2 games, and without Kawhi Leonard, most likely meant that this game was going to be a scheduling loss for the Raptors. However, they managed to dig deep, found energy, and were able to pull out a huge blowout win against the reigning champions. The Raptors came out running in the first half and played great defense against the Golden State Warriors, holding them to a pedestrian 41 points, which matches their fewest points scored in a half this season. I definitely wasn't expecting this level of play in the first half from the Raptors, especially with them playing the night before. However, they were active on defense and offense and played well. With a 16-point lead heading into the second half, I couldn't help but feel anxious, as this Raptors team has been known to let teams stick around in the past, and with Golden State being Golden State, it wasn't hard to fathom a high-scoring second half. Especially without their defensive maestro Kawhi Leonard to guard Kevin Durant, it was nerve-wracking to think about what the Warriors were going to do in the third and fourth quarter. The Warriors picked up their intensity and managed to win the third quarter, 26-25. However, this was the only quarter they would manage to win, and Toronto was able to beat up on the Warriors and win the game 113-93. With this win, the Raptors sit at 23-7, matching the best start in franchise history throughout 30 games, and they have a league-leading 12-3 road record. So who was the best player for the Toronto Raptors? Without a doubt, it was Kyle Lowry. With Kawhi Leonard out with a hip injury for the second straight game, North Philly's finest stepped up and turned in another great game with 23 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, and 3 steals. With this game's stat line, Lowry has achieved his 100th double-double with the Toronto Raptors, and it was a big one. Lowry was previously mired in a slump. However, over the past 2 games has managed to break out of it and has carried this Toronto Raptors team to a 2-0 start on this 4-game West Coast road trip. Player of the game for the Golden State Warriors was Kevin Durant, who scored 30 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and dished out 5 assists. There was a point in the third quarter where it looked like he was going to take over the game, and I had flashbacks to his earlier 51-point performance this season against the Raptors. Durant didn't have much help from his teammates though, as the rest of the Warrior starters struggled and only managed to score as many points combined as Kevin Durant did himself. Draymond Green only managed 2 points, Looney chipped in 4, Klay Thompson had 14, and Steph Curry was held to only 10. The Warriors shot an abysmal 6 for 26 on 3-pointers, and even as the champions, you aren't going to win a game with that terrible shooting percentage. With Steph Curry going 2 for 8 and Klay Thompson going 0 for 5 from 3-point range, it was going to be a tough night for the Warriors. Some of this may be credited to the Raptors' solid perimeter defense tonight, but most likely, the Warriors simply had an off night on the offensive end, but as a Raptors fan, I'll take it. Other players of note in the game for the Raptors were Serge Ibaka and Danny Green. Ibaka continues to thrive at the 5 spot and scored 20 points on 7 of 16 shooting and grabbed 12 rebounds. Danny Green scored 15 points but only went 1 of 5 from 3-point range, but managed to impact the game with his post plays. The Raptors ran quite a few plays through Green when he was matched up against Steph Curry, and they simply abused this matchup. I remember the Cavaliers resorting to a similar tactic in the finals, where LeBron would continuously try and switch off onto Curry. Unlike Lowry, I don't believe that Curry has the bulk or strength to hold his own on defense in the post, so this will be a matchup to watch out for if these two teams do indeed meet up in the finals. The underperforming player of the game for the Raptors was Pascal Siakam tonight. The third-year forward managed to score 13 points on 5 of 10 shooting and was 1 of 2 from 3-point range. However, he was forced into 5 turnovers. Despite having 5 of the team's 11 turnovers, he was still a plus 15 and was second only to Lowry's plus 23. Teams have started to realize that Siakam is a threat on the offensive end, and tonight Golden State clogged up the driving lanes almost every time that Siakam had the ball in his hands. I think as he continues to develop, he will need to find ways to work around this, but he's only in his 3rd year and has made huge leaps already, so there's no doubt in my mind that he will continue to improve. On the injury report front, Valanciunas suffered a dislocated thumb in the second quarter. Draymond Green got away with a hack that left the Lithuanian big man rolling and screaming in pain on the floor underneath the Warriors' basket. Fortunately, it was the thumb on his non-shooting hand, and hopefully that means he will be able to return to the hardwood soon. Luckily, Greg Monroe was able to step in and fill the void at the backup 5 spot and scored 5 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and 1 steal in 7 minutes of solid play. Moving forward, the Raptors will be playing the Portland Trail Blazers on Friday, and as Raptors fans, we will continue to watch for Kawhi Leonard's return from his hip injury. Thanks for listening, and I hope to catch you all on the next episode after Game 31.